Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Gianna Lian, and today I'm giving you guys my March reading wrap up. You guys, we did it again. I had an amazing reading month yet again. And I'm so grateful that I had so much time to actually read and enjoy all the amazing reads that I ended up picking up this month. Oh shoot, I forgot one. Hold on. So I did end up reading 7 books this month yet again, and I'm very excited to share these with you guys because I did pick up some new favorite reads, but I also picked up some reads that I don't really recommend, and I wanted to share my opinions on those ones as well with you guys. But with that, let's just jump right into my wrap up. So starting off my month, I read This Is Where It Ends by an author's name I cannot pronounce. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, but this is a part of an upcoming video. Stay tuned for it. This book is pretty dark. It does follow a school shooting, and it's told between 4 different perspectives of students within the school during the school shooting. So with everyone being locked in the auditorium during this shooting going on, no one really knows what's gonna happen next and really who's gonna be next that could possibly pass away. It's really dark, so make sure you check trigger warnings on this one. I cannot say that enough, especially because this book goes into extreme detail on all the events that occur in it and every situation that occurs in it, but I think that the author did an amazing job discussing them, making a story out of something this dark, and their writing style overall in general, that's probably one of my favorite parts about this book was their writing style, because I just fell in love with it. It was so easy to read, but I enjoyed every single second of it because of how they worded the situations that were talked about in the book. Not only that, but I feel like the book in general just brought so much awareness to this topic in general, and it kind of allowed me to almost sympathize with the characters, if that makes sense. I felt extremely connected to all the characters, except for one, obviously, the shooter. But with the length of this book, obviously things moved very fast in this book. I was not expecting it to move that fast paced, and the ending, oh my gosh, this book made me shed a few tears. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the ending was so heartbreaking. I just felt like I got hit with a bullet. Not literally, but my heart felt like it got shot. But it definitely didn't have me absolutely sobbing over it or hysterically crying, but it definitely was sad. If you still want a heartbreaking book, I definitely recommend this one, but go into it at your own risk. That is the one thing I will warn you about. So the next book I read was I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki by Booktok. Okay, so this one I actually ended up rating a 2 out of 5 stars, which is super depressing, not gonna lie, because this was a big anticipated read for me. Yeah, this was just such a letdown. It is a memoir talking about Bok herself's life and basically her dealing with depression and anxiety and talking to her psychiatrist about these issues and kind of how she's dealing with them and living her life with these problems. This book did start off strong. I'm not gonna lie, it did start off pretty strong for me, and I liked the whole layout of the book and how everything was kind of organized. At the beginning of each chapter, they would give you a description on kind of what's going to be talked about in the section, and then it has like the dialogue of the actual conversations that she had with the psychiatrist. It's more of like an interview, and I really liked that. But towards the middle and end of it, I felt like the character that we mainly focused on, I felt like she was more attention seeking. Even the psychiatrist said like, you are an attention seeker and you put your problems to the extreme level to get yourself more attention because you love the attention. That's basically what I got from this book, and it was such a letdown because I didn't think that it was going to be like that. I didn't think that it was going to make that sort of turn, which kind of just really put me off from the book as a whole. But overall, it was a different type of book that I'm glad that I still picked up because of how unique it was, and I think that it's a super cool idea, but for a memoir, it really let me down. Yeah, overall I just rated this a 2 out of 5. I don't recommend this book at all, but it's super short, so I didn't waste too much time reading it. Okay, so now getting into one of my favorite reads of the month, I read Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie. If you've seen my last month's wrap up, you guys knew that I was going to continue this series. It is one of my favorite series right now. I'm completely obsessed with Lilian Lowe. They have my whole entire heart. My favorite book couple of all time, but that's besides the point. I ended up rating this a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It honestly, I feel like this whole series is gonna be a 5-star series for me, but this book specifically, I wanted to rate it a little bit more critical because I did like the first one a little bit more than this one. But don't get me wrong, this book was still fantastic, 10/10 perfection. But getting into my thoughts, even though this one didn't really focus so much on Lilian Lowe, obviously they are still the main focus point of it. I don't want to give too much away. That's why I'm kind of being a little bit closed off, but I really liked how this one focused a little bit more on Lily's family. We got to know a little bit more about the Calloway sisters. We got to know about Reich and Connor, which were the main boys in the first book. We just got to know a little bit more about Lily's life and her parents especially. So I really enjoyed that, considering I feel like it's a good stepping point for when I read the Calloway sister series, because it kind of gave me an inside look on what I'm going to be getting into with those sisters. Krista and Becca Ritchie just continue to blow me away. It's crazy that her writing, I'm just so obsessed with it. But yes, I will definitely be picking up the third one next month. You guys already know it's going to be on my April TBR. Overall, I just really enjoyed this, and I think that it was the perfect sequel to the first one. And yeah, I really recommend you guys pick up this series because I rave about it so much. Then, I don't know why, but I decided to pick up yet another series. I don't know, I'm in like a series phase right now, and I'm kind of loving it, but then again, I tend to not finish series, so that's never good. But Twisted Love by Anna Huang, and I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars, guys. I was blown away by this book. I think it was tied with my favorite read of the month. This one specifically, I was just shocked in general because I was not expecting to love this, and I was not expecting the romance to be how it was. A little bit of backstory, this is a series. It has 4 books in total, this one and then 3 others, and this one specifically follows Alex and Ava, which is our book couple in it. And we obviously have a brother's best friend trope, maybe a little bit of enemies to lovers if you want to call it that, but it basically just follows their lives. They both had really traumatic childhoods / pasts. As they're going through trying to recover from those still and moving on to live their life with the trauma that they are left with, they slowly get closer and together, and we all know what happens from there, and it's just so amazing. Like I said, I was not expecting to love this book. I honestly, going into it, thought it was just gonna be a basic romance, but no, I was so wrong. This book had so much depth to it, like it was insane. Just the ending left me feeling like I need more from this book. I still think about this book every single day because of how much I loved it and how much I really just connected with the story so well. And last thing I have to mention, I just have to, like, fuck all the other book boyfriends. They can all leave. Alex Volkov can marry me. He can have my heart. He is everything. New book boyfriend in the roster for sure. Okay guys, then I read If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. Yeah, so I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars because I really did enjoy this book, but I do have lots of thoughts on this book. But first, a little bit of backstory. I was told so many different things of what this book is about, and none of what people told me is right at all. So I think the best thing to do is to go into this book blind, but all you need to know is that it follows Finney and Autumn. They've known each other since birth. They've been inseparable. So we have childhood friends to lovers, maybe not. And as they grow older, they start to drift apart and kind of get into their own lives and different directions of their lives. So just a lot of things go down. I would definitely check trigger warnings on this. The whole book basically doesn't deal with too much, but the ending, check trigger warnings on that. It does deal with a lot of hard things in the last like 20 pages. It kind of just all hits you. So be prepared for that. But moving on to my thoughts, there was literally nothing going on in this book, maybe until the last 60, 70 pages. That's when things started to kind of pick up, which had me feeling the whole time I was reading it like, is something gonna happen? When am I gonna figure out why this book is so hyped up? It was just so slow. But besides all that, I can officially say that this book is the first book to ever officially make me cry, which is crazy to say because I didn't think that this one was going to do it, to be honest, but the ending hits really hard. Like, you're not expecting it. And mainly I think that the author took so long to really explain the whole story and then hit you with that really hard ending because she wanted you to fall in love with the characters and she wanted to drag it out as long as possible so you could really feel their love and get to know every single character almost like if they're your best friend, and then hit you with the biggest bomb ever. That is why I think that it was so slow, but I can definitely say that the ending was bizarre, it was crazy, and the ending definitely deserves all the hype that it's getting. 100%. Okay, next book I read was Bright Burning Stars by A.K. Small. Yeah, see, I rated this a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I was super disappointed in this book considering I've heard a lot of hype about this book, especially from one of my best friends, but she didn't really enjoy it that much either. I don't know why I didn't like this one. I feel like the concept was there, the plot sort of was there, but something just turned me off from this book so bad that I just despised it. I don't know why, but this book basically just follows two best friends that go to like a really strict ballet school, and they went into the school together. They wanted to work their way up the ladder to basically win the prize together, which is kind of like the final thing that you get from the school, and then you move on to like the real ballet world where it's like big shows and stuff like that. But as the story goes on, obviously they realize that only one can win the prize. That's when all the lies, revenge, manipulation, drama, everything just kind of explodes in your face. Yeah, so that's basically what this book deals with. I honestly thought that I would really like it because its main focus is ballet, and I used to dance, so I thought it would give me those nostalgic dance feelings, but that part just didn't make up for the rest of the book, to be honest. I think one of the main things I can say is that I felt like this book was kind of all over the place. I think the author just randomly decided to throw in a bunch of crazy things that just happened randomly that didn't really fit the story in that moment. So I felt like it was just random. It was so scattered and it had me feeling lost at some points, which I hate when books do that. So, but we're not even going to talk about the ending because that by far was the worst part of this whole entire book. It was so bad. I read it and I was like, why would someone ever end a book like that? It was so terrible. I don't recommend this book at all. But apparently there is a movie out of this book, and apparently the movie is so much better and completely different from the book, which my best friend did tell me. So I'm gonna try to watch the movie and see if I like that maybe a little bit better, but I can definitely say that the book was a no for me. And then the last book I read was on Kindle Unlimited. I recently started picking up more Kindle Unlimited books, which I'm very happy about considering my dad does pay for the subscription. Thank you, Dad. I love you. It was the 4th book in the Mindfuck series. That one's called All the Lies. This is obviously a very loved series from me. I explained it a little bit a long time ago on my channel, but I haven't really picked it up since then. So I knew that I wanted to continue it, especially because they're not long books and they're so fast-paced. So I knew that I would really enjoy it. This one, if you don't know anything about this series, we literally have a serial killer romance. We have Lana. She is a serial killer. She basically has like a revenge list and she's slowly getting through it. But then we have Logan Bennett, and he is basically a cop. He's a profiler and he's basically trying to catch Lana, the serial killer. But they end up falling in love. So there's already so much going on right there, and it doesn't stop there. I'm telling you, every single time I pick up one of these books, it leaves me speechless and I'm like, what did I just read? Like, I'm literally speechless every single time. I'm so in love with this series, and it's just so different than all the other serial killer romances that I've heard of. But I did end up rating this one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. Obviously, like Addicted to You, this series will probably be a 5-star series for me, but I ultimately liked the second book the best. Overall, I really enjoyed this. Even though it's the 4th book in the series and the series is almost ending, I still did not get bored. Obviously, this author, whatever she does with her writing is just insane. I will be picking up the last one and sadly finishing the series. Hopefully it ends good. I really hope it does, because this one left on a major cliffhanger that could change everything. I definitely recommend this series if you want something completely out there and different. But overall, I had a really amazing reading month. These are all the books that I read in the month of March, and I'm so excited to see the books that I pick up in April. Hopefully I can keep my streak going and have an amazing reading month just like this one. But I really hope you guys enjoyed hearing about all the books that I read this month. Let me know down in the comments all the books you guys read this month and give me a little bit of thoughts on them, because I would love to add more books to my TBR, even though I don't need any more, but I do technically need them all, so make sure you leave those down below. But other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff you guys know how to do. And with that, I hope you guys are having an amazing, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I can barely see it. I kind of need my phone, don't I? My foot is asleep. Why does my feet always fall asleep whenever I film? But with that, I really hope you guys had an... Hello? My stomach. 19 minutes, Gianna. Jesus. Worst thing apart. Hello?